Hi guys, it's Maurice Apre. I hope everybody's doing well. One of the things I'm hoping that everybody considers doing is taking the time to reflect on your habits and making changes. I just want to give you a quick example. Um, Many of us have had histories where we're on the road traveling or doing a lot of different things and you eat fast food or whatever you can in order to have something to keep going. And, there was a time in my life when I would do some of that and I would just try to take a healthier option. So for example, if I was, on the road traveling from Virginia to Memphis, I would calculate exactly how many stops I needed to make beforehand, and I would make that trip in 10.5 hours from Charlottesville to Memphis. And I would stop one time in Southwest Virginia and one time in Knoxville, and then I would pull in to Memphis. And I knew many times that some of the options that were there were not the healthiest. Okay, but I would try to do things like get a grilled chicken sandwich instead of getting, um, a big burger or something like that, right? But as you get older, you mature and you progress, and you try to slow things down to some extent and do something that's going to benefit you. One of the things that I'm aware of is that when my mom had passed several years ago, I would have had to drive from Charlottesville, Virginia, or Lynchburg at that time, to Memphis, and I didn't have the resources to fly, right? And my mom had just passed, and I'm just so thankful my dad was still living, and my dad could say, "Son, don't worry, I'm going to take care of it. Why don't you come up to Charlottesville and we'll fly out together," right? But I promised myself that I wouldn't go through that situation again where I was lacking something. So I started really investing. I did it before when I wanted a car and didn't really know how money worked. And I realized buying one share of Nike was not going to buy me a car. But you learn, right? At least it was a thought back in the day. But again, as you mature, you change. So when it came to traveling and buying food on the go, I thought too, um, even more recently, why not try to make some of the things that I would tend to enjoy? So, for example, like oatmeal, right? Oatmeal is not necessarily the most sexiest breakfast to have, but I would do things like this. I would go ahead and put oatmeal together with cranberries, blueberries, apples, different things, the same things that McDonald's would make. But instead of going to McDonald's to get it, I would make it myself. And then in turn, I want to reward myself. And the way that I would reward myself is by buying one share of stock, whether it's McDonald's or something. So I want you to think about turning your habits from something negative to something positive, right? So not only was I cooking for myself and allowing myself to do something healthier, but now I was taking the same money that I was going to use um, to satisfy myself and also just to eat because I needed to eat while I was do an investment. That investment then, of course, it pays back. And of course, it may not necessarily be a large amount of money that I see, but kids will have it. Right? So consider taking your habits and reframing it in such a way that while you've got the pandemic and you're at home, think about the things that you can recreate for yourself. Right? Recreate you and recreate your habits and recreate your life. Okay? It's going to be in the long run better for you and for your loved ones as well. Talk to you soon. If you need help in figuring out what those things can be, I'm on Google, Zoom, Skype, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You got my number. Look forward to hearing from you soon.